Hello, welcome. We're just going to give it a minute for everyone to join in. Thank you. Hi, fantastic. Welcome. Today we are talking about Healthie's integration with ClaimMD. We're going to walk through the integration and we're going to show you how insurance billing can be simple when you're using the ClaimMD integration within Healthie. Just a little context for you all here. You are going to have Stephanie. I am Stephanie from Healthie side of the team. And we're also joined today by Cola and the ClaimMD team as well.
Yes, hello, thank you.
Yes, Cola.
Hi, good
All right.
morning. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. And a quick just overview of our agenda for today. First, we're going to get right in. We're going to show a live demo of the Healthie and ClaimMD workflow within Healthie. We're going to walk through how to enable the integration, so how to get started. And then we're going to turn it over to the ClaimMD team so that you can see the ClaimMD side, not only just setting up your account, but also what other information is in ClaimMD so that you can familiarize yourself with that side of the integration as well. Feel free, we're going to be answering questions as well. So if you do have a question, feel free to put it in the Q&A box. We can save some time for the end, but you're also able to drop it into the chat. So we're very welcome to have your questions today. We're super glad to have you all here, and we can't wait to show you a little bit of the integration. All right. Just a little bit more context for you. In case you're not using a clearinghouse or a billing tool today, maybe you're just getting started with insurance billing. I did want to call out what a clearinghouse is, and ClaimMD is a leading clearinghouse. So what does that really mean? Healthie is your EHR. It's your platform where you can do your charting, your billing, your patient engagement, your video calls, all the tools that you need to run your practice, but also to deliver care. On the Healthie side of the integration, you're able to create insurance claims, super bills, invoices, and charge clients for fee for service. Where your clearinghouse steps in is that your clearinghouse is your connector to Healthie that's going to allow you to send your claims to payers, but also to receive claim information back, your remits. And typically, if you're just getting started with insurance billing, typically how it works is that each payer is going to have a portal. Let's say you're enrolled with 5 different payers. They all have a portal that you can submit claims to and track your claims, but it's a really disparate system and it's hard to track across multiple portals. Your clearinghouse is an intermediary. It's one place where you can have all of your claims send and receive back into that one house. And that house connects with Healthie. And so for this integration, what's going to happen as well is that information, not only sending claims, but also receiving claim information along with other important information like eligibility details is also going to flow into Healthie. And so this is creating a really streamlined billing experience. It's reducing the amount of time that you have to go and chase claims and track claims. It makes financial reconciliation a lot easier. And then probably, I don't want to say most importantly, because all of these aspects are important, but there's also less claim errors, right? Because within Healthie, when you're creating a claim, we're going to throw an error if there's missing information, but your clearinghouse is also going to scrub a claim. It's going to look at the claim and see if there's any issues with it. And if there are rejections, the clearinghouse can reject the claim and say, hey, you need to make these corrections before you send it off to the payer. So this really just makes your whole end-to-end billing experience so much more streamlined and easier and improves your cash flow. And so we're really excited to partner with ClaimMD to bring that experience within Healthie. Yes, yeah. PAM, if you mean, is Healthie a PM system and EMR? Yes. Healthie is your EHR and your patient management system as well. So what I'm going to show you on the Healthy demo side is I'm just going to show you a couple of things. One, where you're going to create a claim, how you're going to send a claim to Claim.MD once you're integrated, how you're going to run an eligibility check, where your claim statuses will update, and then where you're going to find your ERAs or the information once the claim is processed by the insurance payer and pulls back into the system. Going to switch into, sorry for that, hold on, switch into my test account here. If anyone wants to give me a thumbs up or just a mention in the chat, if you can see my claim and my Healthy portal here. Yes, awesome. Thank you. All right, so if you're new to Healthy, when you log into your Healthy platform, what you're going to see is your provider homepage here. So any of your appointments and your tasks, you can see your main navigation bar with all these steps that you can take here as well. I'm actually going to start and show you where an eligibility check is going to happen and where some insurance information lives for your client. Bear with me, this is a test account, so there is some funky data and client names in here, but I do have a good test client to show us all. So this is your client profile. You'll find in their account, you can add and update their insurance information within their profile here. It's super simple. You can also collect this information on onboarding through your intake forms. So you can add your insurance billing form, which will collect not only insurance details, but also the card front and back. You can also add a photo ID form to your onboarding, which makes it super simple. So then all that information that you need to bill for a client is going to be in their account and stored there for you to view. Where I want to show you eligibility checks. So this is when you're trying to determine what is covered before you see this patient and bill to the payer. When the integration with Claim.MD is enabled, you're going to find an insurance eligibility section within the client's overview section of their profile. This pulled in a lot of, this was a test account, and I did pull in a lot of information, and what this is linked to Claim.MD. So this is connected, and this is just a test account. So for any client here with a valid insurance on file, and you've done the steps on the Claim.MD side, which Cola will talk about when we're talking about the account setup side within Claim.MD, you're going to be able to say check eligibility, and it's going to load here. You're going to see a success message. If there's a failure, you're going to see a failure error here and details. And then you're going to be able to see, probably most importantly, does this client actually have active coverage, right? So yes or no. You're also going to see if they have a deductible and any out-of-pocket amounts. So you can scroll through here. And again, Cola's going to show you this information within Claim.MD and how you can potentially filter it a little bit further if you would like to as well. This is test data, so it did pull in a little bit of funky numbers and a long scrolling list here as well. Then the next thing that you're going to do when you're working with a client is if you're going to see them after a session, there's a couple of ways that you can generate a CMS 1500 claim, which is what's going to send to Claim.MD and then to the payers from there. So I'm just going to pull up this sample CMS 1500 claim. It's super simple. All you have to say is new CMS 1500. And if you select a client here, we can say Gary is our client. It will actually autofill from the last session that you had with Gary or any client. And it makes your claim just super simple to create. All you're going to do is go through the previous information, pulls in. It pulls in from their profile, and it also pulls in from the previous claim that you've created. You're going to review it for accuracy. You're probably going to come down here. You're going to double check your diagnoses codes. You're going to check your billing items here as well. You'll see the total amount here. So your billing items is your units, and then your fee per unit here. You can see where you can add any modifiers or adjust your codes, your diagnosis pointers. If you're just getting started with billing, perhaps some of this is a little overwhelming, but if you're already accepting insurance, it just makes it super simple to create your claim. And if you're not sure what a box is or field is here, each of these map to the CMS 1500 pink form. So you're going to be able to hover over and just learn a little bit more about what each field is asking you and what information to put into that field. And when you're done, you're just going to hit save and close. If there's any errors, they're going to pop up and you're going to see suggestions on how to correct this claim. I'm just going to take a step back though, and I'm going to go back to our original CMS 1500 claims list. So this is all your claims for all your clients. When the Claim.MD integration is enabled for your account, you're going to be able to send one claim or multiple claims to Claim.MD. And you'll see that the send to Claim.MD button then pops up for your account. You can see that here. I'm going to just start with one claim. And we're deliberately not going to successfully send this claim. So I just want to show you what happens if there's an error. So we do have an update here with the Claim.MD integration that you're going to see any error codes or error messages. Particularly if there's a rejection from the clearinghouse, you're also going to see an error, and I have a screenshot of what that looks like as well. So if there's any errors on the Healthy side or there's any rejections on the Claim.MD side, you're also going to see those notifications. All right, and I think I'm going to pop back over here. Hope you all are following me on my screen. And I just wanted to show you, because this is launching this week, these claim rejections from Claim.MD. So this is actually really neat. It's a great update that's going live this week, where you're going to pull in that error message from Claim.MD if the clearinghouse has rejected it. And you're going to see the code and the reason why there was a rejection here. You're able to edit a claim and resubmit it within Healthy. It's super simple. You can add your code when you're resubmitting it and then just resend it from Healthy to Claim.MD. I'm going to pause and just check the chat for a couple of questions here. Awesome. Okay. All right. Next, super simple, how to enable the Claim.MD integration. Within Healthy, you're going to, actually within Healthy, in our documentation, we have a Claim.MD request form, integration request form. It won't take you long to fill out. And what you'll see is this is a form. You're going to click Get Started. And something I am going to prompt you on, and what Cola will talk about in a minute, is just the pricing options for Claim.MD. And so Healthy offers the same plans that Claim.MD offers, but you're going to get set up through the Healthy side. It's a really great offering for this integration. So essentially, your Claim.MD account is going to get set up under Healthy as a vendor account. And what that allows us to do is to have some insights into your Claim.MD account and your Healthy account. So you're really getting this sort of a double layer of support when using this integration, because Healthy is going to be able to see from end to end any issues or technical issues that you're having. So I've got the QR code here if you want to scan the form, and you can fill out the requested information. And then what will happen is that you'll get an email from the Healthy team with next steps and how to get started. But I just wanted to share the pricing plans here. And Cola, maybe you want to just take a minute to speak to the different plan offerings.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So Claim.MD does offer 3 pricing packages for you. We do not do long-term contracts. This is a month-to-month subscription service, which works great because if you're just getting started, you can start with that basic plan and you can move up as you grow. And we'll just talk about them briefly. So the basic plan, this is $25 a month, and that's to have Claim.MD. So that's your subscription cost. With this plan, you'll spend 30 cents per transaction. So 30 cents when you submit a claim, 30 cents when you receive remittance response, and 30 cents when you check eligibility. It has a one-time setup fee of $100, and we do not charge a per provider fee or a per user fee. So this plan works really good. I often suggest this plan if you have about 30 or less patients per month that you're seeing, and you plan to use all 3 services. And you could do the math there. You can see it's about 90 cents a patient on top of the $25. The small volume plan, this is going to be $50 a month, but this one includes 100 transactions in all 3 categories. If you go over 100 transactions, it'll be 50 cents for each additional transaction. It has a one-time setup fee of $50, and again, no per provider fees or per entity fees. And then the unlimited plan, that's $100 a month. With this plan, you do get unlimited claims. And I'm going to note here, it does not matter who you're sending the claims to when it comes to your being unlimited. In this plan, we do not charge for claims or remittance advice. It is unlimited, included in the $100. With eligibility transactions, you get 1,000 of those included in your subscription fee. If you go over 1,000, it's going to be 2 or 10 cents depending on the payer. Prime versus non-prime, that's indicated here on the screen. You can find that on our payer list from our website at claim.md. The insurance will be listed there as a prime payer. There is no setup fee with this plan, and there's no rendering provider fee. So the unlimited plan, you see it's a little different. It has a $25 fee under per billing provider tax ID. What this means, the $100 includes one group, unlimited rendering NPIs. If you have an additional tax ID or an additional group, each additional will be $25. Again, no user fees. And then if you notice at the bottom, we have on every plan, if you need ClaimMD to send something via paper or fax for you, we charge $1 for the first 5 pages and 20 cents for each additional page. So it's pretty straightforward pricing.
Thank you, Cola. And yes, for those who are asking for this slide, it's not a problem. When we get closer to the end of the PowerPoint, I'm going to actually drop the link. So if you search Healthy documentation, help.gethealthy.com, I can do that here, and you search for ClaimMD, you'll find in our integration help doc that this pricing plan is there with a little bit more context and information as well, plus the type form that you can fill out to request this integration and select the plan that you'd like to continue with.
Awesome.
Great. And I think, well, I'm going to stop sharing, and I think this goes to you, perhaps.
Great. Thank you so much. That was very helpful, Stephanie. I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and screen share as well now. I see there's some questions in here, quite a few asking about comparison to Office Ally. We'll get into that. I'll get into those questions at the end here. Can everyone see my screen okay?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Awesome. Okay, so what I have here is the Healthy Quick Start Guide. When you sign up for your account through Healthy for ClaimMD, you're going to be prompted to open up this guide and go through it. It's going to take you step by step on how to set up the system as a Healthy user. And so you'll want to read this pretty carefully, as we indicate here. We do tell you right away that once you go through this guide, if you do need assistance still, you can open up a support ticket with our support team, and we'll be happy to help you there. As you're getting started, you can see that on the left-hand side, you can jump to specific issues. If you want to go to eligibility, you can go here. So it does allow you to jump around, but you will want to follow the guide for setup right away. So you don't want to skip ahead until you know you're set up. The very first thing it's going to get into is adding your users. I'll show you this in the ClaimMD screen share here in a second, but you are able to go in and add as many users as needed for your practice. Anyone who has access or will be using ClaimMD needs to have their own login. Like I said in the pricing, we do not charge for this. So you want to make sure that everybody has their own access. And it shows you here exactly how to do that. And as you go down, the next step is going to be provider enrollment. So this is a pretty important step. In order to submit claims, receive remittance advice, and check eligibility, a lot of plans and payers require that you authorize ClaimMD as your third party or your clearinghouse. In order to do this, you're going to do it in our portal, and we're going to give you all of the information that you need. This is not contracting or credentialing. This is EDI enrollment, and EDI stands for the electronic data interchange. So if you're here and you're like, well, I'm already credentialed or I'm already contracted with Medicare or Blue Cross or whoever, that's not what this does. This is just authorizing Claim.MD to transfer your data. So you'll want to make sure you go through this. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and look at Claim.MD. Let me get out of here real quick. All right. So once you've created your account, you're going to have access to
Although
Claim.MD.
we
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
see your ClaimMD count.
Okay,
We're still
no
seeing the
problem.
help start guide.
No worries. Let me reshare. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, good.
Yep, looks great.
Awesome. Okay. So once you've created your ClaimMD account, you're going to be able to log in via our website at claim.md. And here is your provider enrollment screen. The provider enrollment tab can be found under Manage Account by selecting Provider Enrollment. In the demo, we have an example of the type 2 or the group, and then we have your type 1. We're going to select the group for this webinar. I'm just going to click on the group name. When you open the screen, you're going to get a list of insurances that are the most common for your region. If you don't find your payer here, no worries. You can search in the top right. Just search by payer name or payer ID. But we're going to take a look at a couple here. I am defaulted to the state of Texas. Every region of Medicare is different. It just, as you guys know, if you're in the East Coast, you could be going through Palmetto. You're on the West Coast, you might be going through, Noridian. And Texas is Novitas. We're going to take a look at Texas. So with Medicare specifically, Medicare does require enrollment for all three services. So we can see in this column, we have claims, ERAs, and eligibility. What you're going to want to do is follow the instructions given. I'm going to click on enrollment required. You're going to see instructions. You'll want to make sure to read those. And again, this is going to be specific to the plan that you're requesting to submit claims to. In this example, Novitas provides a form. ClaimMD is going to fill it out with the data that we have. You're going to want to enter your PTAN number. And as you scroll along, you'll find that all you need to do on this specific form is just sign it. And it's a digital signature. So in cases where your region has forms, ClaimMD will have them here. You'll want to note that Medicare does indicate to allow 2 weeks for processing. You want to keep that in mind. It could take up to 10 business days for the payer to process this request. So you can see the document's been faxed, and we're telling you here to contact the payer directly to inquire the status of the enrollment. So when I go back, I can see that took care of my claims and my remittance request. To get eligibility, I'm just going to select enrollment required, and we're done. Nothing else is needed of you. So you don't need to necessarily print anything in this example or go anywhere else. We just take care of it for you here. You just need to sign those documents. If we take a look at a commercial plan, let's look at United Healthcare. No enrollment is required for claims. What that means is you can start submitting claims right away. To receive those remittance responses and to check eligibility, you'll want to click here. So let's quick enroll for eligibility, and you're done. And for ERAs, again, form instructions, and you'll see there's a change of vendor request. You'll just digitally sign this and submit it. You do want to make sure you do this for all of your payers that you plan to, send claims for, receive remittance, and check eligibility. All right, so I know there's probably going to be questions. I'm just going to go through here and then I can look at those questions afterwards. I do have a colleague on the call that can help answer some of those. We're going to look at eligibility next. So having access to your clearinghouse is super helpful. You're able to come in here and take a look on sort of the back end. As Stephanie described, you can see some eligibility details in the Healthie platform. But if you'd like to come into ClaimMD, under the claim menu, you can select eligibility. And here, you can choose your provider. You can select your health plan. This is a pretty extensive list. By the way, if you want information on which plans we can reach and what services we can provide, that's also found on our website at claim.md by clicking on that payer list tab. That payer list tab is searchable. In option 3 here, you can select your category of coverage. This is a pretty long list as well. We're going to choose health plan benefit coverage for the sake of the webinar. You're then just going to enter your patient name, and we need either the date of birth or the policy number. You'll click on check eligibility, and you're going to see this pop up. Immediately, it's going to get into the patient demographics. You'll find their group information, effective dates, address. And as you scroll along, you're going to get details on that coverage. You'll see information on the health plan, deductibles, co-insurance, copay for both in and out of network and family and individual. This is a live check. So ClaimMD, back to the question we had earlier that I saw come through the chat, how accurate is this check? It's as accurate as the insurance is updated, right? So it's a live check. As you guys may know, if claims don't go through, maybe there's a claim hanging out there, a claim went through before yours, it could affect the deductible. You could run an eligibility check when the patient calls in and you schedule them, and the deductible was, this amount, but by the time they come in, it has changed, and that's based on when claims go through. So it's a live check. We're pulling the most current information available. This back screen, it's going to keep a history for you for up to 1 year. You can select this patient again should you want to check them the following month or when they come in next. You'll select check eligibility, and you'll see that the time and date has been updated. At the top is a bar graph, and it's going to keep you updated with how many checks you have remaining for the month. So this will give you an idea of where you're at for the month as far as pricing goes. So if you're on one of those smaller plans, smaller tier plans, or even the unlimited plan, it's going to help keep you informed with where you're at. Okay. I just saw something come through that they didn't see a screen scrolling. Is everybody seeing everything okay?
Yeah, we can see your screen here,
Okay,
Tracy.
perfect. All right, let's take a look real quick at ERAs. So under the claim menu, I'm going to choose View ERA. And here it's going to house your remits for up to 10 years or 10 years. The way this works, you can come in here and you can search. If I open up the search tool, there's multiple levels of criteria. You can also choose to look at these by month. Or in many cases, a lot of individuals like to see that PDF view. Stephanie showed you the information that's pulling over as far as remark reason codes are concerned and their plain language definitions. You'll also see that here on the ERA. So this is going to be your more detailed, just probably more traditional EOB view in the electronic version. Here, you can select specific actions. So if you want to look at a zero pay, or maybe you have a larger EOB like the Aetna one here, and you want to look at the zeros that came through, you can choose that. If you want to pull out a single patient, I really like this feature. If you have someone in your office that doesn't understand why they have a copay, you can just pull them up individually and you can show them the way the insurance processed their claim. And then here we're going to navigate up to manage claims. With managed claims, this is going to be your dashboard. Everything going on in the system is here. At the top, you have a graph like eligibility that's keeping you informed with how many claims are in the system. This one is coded or color coded by status of claims. Here you see your rejections and you can see your transmitted. With rejections, again, Stephanie showed this in the Healthy platform, but you can also come in here and view these rejections. There was a question earlier about problems with another clearinghouse and not being able to clearly identify the rejections and understand them. Here you can come in, you see your patient names and a description of the error found underneath their name. And we're going to take a look here at Sylvia. Now, briefly, if it's a rejection coming from the insurance, you'll notice it'll say the insurance name, United Healthcare, for example, up here with Ethel. If it's a clearinghouse rejection, you won't see the insurance name. So we're going to click on Sylvia. This is a clearinghouse rejection. And when we talk about scrubbing, what ClaimMD is doing is we're looking for error or issues that would prevent the payer from accepting the claim. These are going to be errors on the national file. So we're looking at NCCI, we're looking at MUEs, and we're looking at formatting. If we find an error, we're going to reject that and ask that you correct it. So when opening up your claims in ClaimMD, you see this traditional 1500 format. Down in red, we're telling you what's wrong, so the error that we found. And if you click there, we're going to take you to that field and give you suggestions on how to fix it. So in this example, you submitted a claim with T1490 as the diagnosis code. ICD-10 guidelines says that that's not specific enough. And based on that code, we're making these suggestions. So you would choose the correct code and you can just save it and submit. Again, this could be done in the Healthy platform as well. But if you'd like to come out to ClaimMD, you can certainly do that here. And then once it's corrected, you can just approve that transmit. And if we go back, let's take a look at this insurance error. I'm going to open up Ethel. So this claim went through ClaimMD scrub and we did not find an issue. However, when it got to United Healthcare, they determined that they can't find this patient. And based on the error, we're highlighting fields that might need your attention. With low hanging fruit, it could be a typo here. Maybe this is supposed to be a 6. You check the ID card, you're like, oh, I submitted the wrong ID number. There's a typo in my demographic entry. So you could just fix that and move on. If that's not the problem, you can also just run an eligibility check right from the screen to determine if the patient lost coverage. So those are going to be the main services here in ClaimMD: claims, eligibility, remittance, and of course your provider enrollment tool, which will be done when you set up your account. All
Paula,
right.
could you just take a minute and just show where you could search by procedure code for eligibility checks?
Yeah, so here we're on the eligibility screen, and under option 3, you can type in a procedure code here. Now, I'm in a demo. I can put in an office visit or I can put in a specific code. It's not going to give me anything, but you can type in your code here. If I run this eligibility check, it's going to take me, back into coverage and it'll give you information on that code. Now, this is dictated by the insurance company, whether or not they can bring back, valuable data for you on your procedure code.
Yeah, to answer your question, Haley, that is a really good point. And to Cola's point, ClaimMD and ergo Healthy are going to be able to return to you what the payer can send. And so for a lot of the nutrition codes, there is a lack of specificity. So you may continue to see that. And that's really it's on the payer.
Mm-hmm. Correct. And with diagnosis codes, I see that you're asking about a code. This is going to allow for CPT only. You may need to continue, unfortunately, to call the payer to find out about that. But we are limited to what the insurance will give us. So, all right, I can come through here and look at a few questions. Or Stephanie, if you know some right off the cuff, I can answer.
Yeah. Paula, maybe if you want to turn it back to me, I also wanted to just go back and show you all where your status updates and your ERA data is going to show in Healthy. It's a pretty big part, so I do want to make sure I show that to you all as well. So we walked through the eligibility checks, we walked through creating a claim and sending that to ClaimMD. But what I failed to show you earlier is that these status updates, when you're connected with ClaimMD, so these are status updates within Healthy, but these updates are going to update in real time and pull in from ClaimMD. So once you've sent your claim, this is automatically going to adjust to sent. And if there's any, let's say, rejection by the clearinghouse, if the claim was fully paid, partially paid, these are going to update for you. So it really still gives you one nice scrolling view to track all of your claims here. And you can, view that. And the question was, can all of this be done in Healthy, or are you going to have to go into ClaimMD? You can run the eligibility check, you can send your claims, you can see the claim statuses within Healthy, and then also your remits, your reimbursement details are going to pull in as well from ClaimMD. And this is what you're going to see within Healthy. So this is going to populate directly from the remit here. The billed amount is pulled directly from your billing items, how many units and the fees that you charge there. So that is the amount billed specific for the claim. And then this remaining information is going to populate as well, including the reimbursement amount, the date of that. If client already paid, let's say you already charged them a copay, and then what the client responsibility is, which is fantastic. If there is a client responsibility, I just want to show you here, and you want to just close out your books and make sure you charge your client for that remaining amount. What you're going to do in Healthy is that you're also going to be able to go to billing. You're going to be able to go to your invoices, and you can invoice a client here. So create invoice. You're going to select CMS 1500. So this really just helps you close the loop here and making sure that you're connecting that specific claim to this specific invoice. And this is where you're going to find your client and then select the claim. You'll see the service dates here, and it'll automatically populate from what I just showed you, the reimbursement details. This is going to pull in right here and populate. So you don't need to have them open side by side and say, oh, shoot, how much did I have to bill this client? If you did want to write off the claim for a reason, the client owed amount, you can do that as well. So it'll give you a drop down and reasons here, and you can select the amount that you want to write off, and then any notes as well here. And then you're just going to create your invoice. This you can send, so that'll get emailed to Gary. So Gary can go ahead and pay that electronically. And then you can also always just charge the card on file if you do have one, again, to just balance your books and make sure you're going end to end with your billing workflows. The last thing I want to show you, and then certainly we're going to open up to some Q&A here, is most people using insurance billing through Healthy really appreciate the ability to run two reports. There is your payments report. So if you want it, or invoices reports here. So you can run for a specific period of time, the last 30 days, or however often that you want to do your reporting, if that's weekly, biweekly, monthly. And then you have your CMS 1500 report. So you can run both of those reports, and then you've got a great list of all of your claims from a period, those that still have owed amounts, and then you can cross-reference as well with what you've invoiced your clients. All right. I'm going to stop sharing here for a minute, and I'm just going to go back to our slideshow, and we're going to open it up to any questions. So we're just going to take a look in the chat here. There's quite a few questions talking about the difference between Office Ally and Claim.MD. I'll let Cola speak a little bit more to that, but I just want to share on the Healthy side. Healthy does integrate with both Office Ally and with Claim.MD. One, they're both clearinghouses. There is a difference in how we integrate. On the Office Ally side, you are going to have you own your own instance of your Office Ally account, and you're basically connecting that to Healthy for a direct integration. So you're still going to be you'll see the option to send claims, receive claims, the status updates will pull in there. One of the limitations, though, Healthy is not connected to the billing side of Office Ally. So whatever you're being charged for Office Ally, that is through your account and with Office Ally specifically. There is a slightly different fee structure from what I understand between Office Ally and Claim.MD. The other difference as far as the integration goes is that I showcased how Claim.MD is actually, your account is set up under Healthy as a vendor. And so we're really adding an additional layer of support, in that we can help you through both Claim.MD and Healthy, and that we can see, we have some insights into your Claim.MD account as well. So there really is just a fully baked integration with Healthy and Claim.MD, but we do offer and support an integration with Office Ally as well, should you want to connect your Office Ally account. Cola, maybe you just want to speak a little bit to that, or a little bit on the migration process, which I'm sure people do have a couple questions on if they're moving from Office Ally or another clearinghouse to ClaimMD, and maybe just some tips for them.
Great. Yeah. So I personally do not have any experience in Office Ally myself. I from feedback, again, like Stephanie said, the fee structure is a little bit different. As far as migration goes, uh, most people choose a specific date of service to start with when they change clearinghouses. So they let the old data run through the other clearinghouse and then start with a new data service moving forward. Um, if you want, I have had questions asked of me about taking the data from another clearinghouse and putting it into ClaimMD. If you can pull a CSV file, we do accept uploads where you can upload a batched file of old claims. That's completely up to you. You can also enter claims manually into the ClaimMD system. And if you housed everything in Healthy, you could also just, I'm sure, resubmit that claim if you see a denial or something to that effect. But most of the time, people will just choose with a fresh date of service and allow for that 10 business day overlap to see that everything's running through ClaimMD, meaning Medicare's now ClaimMD. Your health plans have authorized ClaimMD now as your clearinghouse, and that's your indicator to go ahead and turn off Office Ally or your whichever clearinghouse you're using. Um, so the only other difference, or I don't even know, to be honest, if it's a difference, but from feedback, ClaimMD is in the United States. We don't outsource any of our services. With that being said, we are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You can open a ticket, you can use your guide, or you can give us a call. Other than that, I wouldn't be able to fully speak to entirely to the differences because I haven't worked personally in Office Ally. Hope that helps.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Cola, and it's really just, I know that it's not easy ever to change any of your systems or your tech stack, right? The tools that you use. And
Mhm.
so to Cola's point, just as a reminder, there is going to be an overlap period. So if you're changing from another clearinghouse to ClaimMD, once the claim has been submitted from Healthy to ClaimMD, everything's gonna pull in as you would expect it to. So it's just going to be that little bit of a transition period of, setting up your ClaimMD account and then starting to submit your claims. And then once you have all your claims sending from Healthy to ClaimMD, you'll see all of that information pulling back, the status updates and the ERAs back into Healthy as well. So just expect a little bit of a transition period.
Yes, and Stephanie, I see a quick question come through about the ERAs and posting payments, and that could be a big
Mm-hmm.
difference as well. Um, ClaimMD is able to send the batch over. I don't know if you want to speak to that, Stephanie.
Oh, I'm happy to have you speak to that.
Okay, so with this type of integration, the remittance details should pull in or move into Healthy for a more automated posting. Manually posting by patient and claim is not uh, part of this integration, so it should absolutely pull over by batch and apply, or at least ask you to review and apply. To open up an EOB or an ERA and look at it on one screen or however you're looking at it and manually post, it should definitely take away that sort of headache.
Thank you, Cola. I do see a question here about from Tracy. What's the easiest way to create the CMS 1500 from ChartNote or another way? Tracy, there's actually two ways to do that within Healthy. You can do it from the charting note within Healthy, which is I'm happy to showcase how to do that. Before I migrate away from this page, although I just wanted to give you these type form, I'm sorry, these QR codes. So if you are ready to get started, you want to submit your integration request to Healthy to connect with ClaimMD, you can scan that QR code there on the first screen. And then on the other side, if you do just want to visit the help documentation, you can scan that code. That's going to bring you to the help doc, which we mentioned earlier, but also goes through not only what the integration will do, the pricing plans for ClaimMD, and then also give you the link to request the integration. But I'm gonna just stop sharing here real quick, and I will answer the question on how to create the claim. Oh, okay. Sorry for all the toggling. I hope you all can see here. So when you go back to, let's say, our client account, let's go back to Gary's account here. You can go to Gary's profile. So you can actually do a couple of ways. So if you're in charting, which I know a lot of people do like to do this within their charting workflows as well, once you have the claim, once you have your charting note up here, you have the option to create a CMS 1500 straight from this charting view here. So you can just click that and then it'll bring you over to your CMS 1500 view and you can review your claim form there. The other way to do it is from the CMS 1500 view specifically. And here, if you just wanted to create a new CMS 1500, you would just do it from here. And again, we did walk through this earlier, but you select the client and make sure you have the right date of service for the claim. And one thing we didn't quite show before, but if you needed to correct the claim as well, you're able to do that here. So if there's a claim correction, if you wanted to replace, void the claim, or correct the claim and resubmit it, you're also able to do that right from this view as well. Awesome. All right, Cola, is there any other questions that you see in the chat?
Yeah, I just want to go back to speaking about the pricing. There's some Q&As coming through as well. So Claim.MD is not charging based on the insurance when it comes to claims and remittance. See, if you don't mind, Stephanie, I'm going to screen share real
Yeah.
quick back to the pricing
Yeah, go
page.
ahead. Yeah, I'm going to pull that up for you, but I will let you do that.
Okay, so when we're looking at pricing and we're asking about what's covered, if you're looking at small volume, for example, 100 claims are covered no matter who the payer is. Um, Same with remittance, same with eligibility. With the unlimited plan, unlimited claims are covered no matter who the payer is. If that payer is listed on our payer list, they're covered. There's no separate pricing for claims or remittance when it comes to the health plan. The only time you're going to see that par, non-par, I know that's Office Ally speak, or in our case, prime or non-prime, is under the unlimited plan if you go over 1,000 eligibility transactions. And these two plans, again, basic, it's a pay per use, it's 30 cents no matter what. And with small volume, it's going to be 50 cents once you go over the 100. I hope that makes some sense. If you're having problems finding your payer, um, you can search by payer name. Something unique about Claim.MD, like if I wanted to look up Blue Cross Blue Shield, you can just type in the acronym. You can also try searching by payer ID. If you're noticing that payer IDs aren't here, it could be that Claim.MD just has a different payer ID than what you have. Another way to check is to call the insurance directly and tell them that you're looking at Claim.MD as your clearinghouse and you wanted the payer ID, and you could search the payer ID here. So hopefully that helps answer some of those questions.
Yeah, and we did have a few questions on payers and through Claim.MD. So thank you for showing this payer list. This is on the Claim.MD website also. I did drop the direct link to the payer list as well. And just one more note on the Healthy side, you are going to go through Healthy to have your Claim.MD account created for you. So you're not going to go through Claim.MD, you're going to go through Healthy. You're going to submit that integration request form, and then we will get you set up with a Claim.MD account, and then we will send you the instructions. Cola showed the quick start account guide. We'll send that to you as well so that you can then go into your Claim.MD account and finish the setup there. So just calling that out so that there's no confusion on how you're getting started. Yeah, and then this is being recorded. So there were some questions. Can you go back and watch the recording? Absolutely. We are going to record this and we are sending this out to all registrants. So you'll have this. You can go back and rewatch this if you'd like.
Yeah,
All
great.
right.
And to add to pricing too, there's a question about if it's yourself and other providers and you're under the same group, it is the one plan. So to ask to the person asking about the small volume plan and $50, it's $50 a month for the group, unlimited rendering NPIs. With that plan specifically, if you have more than one tax ID, we do not charge for the tax ID either. So in all of our plans, we do not charge a rendering provider fee if it's under the same group. That's across the board with our plans. The only time you're going to see an additional charge is under the unlimited plan if you have more than one group. That second or third, fourth group will be $25.
Mhm. Thank you, Cola. Provide authorization. Maybe you can answer this question, Cola. Does the eligibility provide
Yeah.
authorization requirements for a specific CPT?
Yeah, so we do not. It's a verification of benefits only tool. So in order to receive prior auth or get prior auth information, you're going to want to go directly to the health plan at that point.
Great. And then this might be a little technical. I'm not sure the Adminis TEP, has that been successful with transferring claims to ClaimMD?
I have not heard on my end of any alerts coming through on a payer level as far as transferring goes. We on the sales side especially get those alerts. So to my knowledge, we have had no issues, that have resulted in lack of success.
Great. Thank you. Thank you all for your questions. If we did not get to your questions here, don't worry. We have a record of your questions. We're going to be able to reach out to you, particularly if you had questions specifically about your Healthy account or troubleshooting with the integration. We'll make sure that we'll get a follow up to you. And just as a reminder, if you wanted to get started with this integration, you have an active Healthy account. You're able to find that integration request form, which is in our help documentation. So help.gethealthy.com. And you can complete that form, and then Healthy will get you set up with your ClaimMD account. And you'll have not only the support of the ClaimMD team, but you'll also have the support of the Healthy team as well. So thank you, Cola and ClaimMD team. I just wanted to thank you for coming on today and showing us a little bit more of the ClaimMD side of the integration.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can add if anybody would like to jump onto one of our webinars or a personal demo, you can do so by just going out to our website and clicking on that schedule demo tool or button in the top right of our screen there. And we'll be happy to help you more if you'd like to drill down a little bit more with questions.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Cola. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we'll send out this recording should you want to return to it.
Thank you. Have a good one.